All right, what is up, my friends? Welcome. Another Monday video here on CoolStuffInc.com. Playing some Modern today, and we're playing a pretty sweet one here. Sun Titan, Emeria, the Sky Ruin. And this is a version of a deck I played on stream last week. Bob49 top 8 at a Modern challenge with it. And played the list on stream. Love the idea, but didn't like a lot of the card choices. So I've changed a lot of cards here, and this is my version of a deck. And what we have here is kind of a mid-range Yorion, mostly mono white deck based around Emeria and Sun Titan. The Sun Titan is one of the more forgotten Titans, not necessarily as popular as Primeval Titan, but 6 mana for a 6/6 Vigilance. Whenever it ETBs or attacks, you may return a permanent mana value 3 or less. So basically, any of this can be returned on every attack or every ETB. And we're playing Emeria, the Sky Ruin. This is also the white part of the Valakut cycle from the original Zendikar. ETB's taps for white. In your upkeep, you have 7 or more planes. You may return a creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. That's every turn, folks. That's every turn. And obviously not hard to have a planes, 7 planes in play in this deck, because all of our lands are planes. They're all planes, or they all get planes. So this is a kind of a mostly mono white blinky mid-range deck. And of course, you have 4 copies of Ephemerate, Solitude, a lot of blink stuff going on. You can blink our Solitude. We can blink our Skyclaves, and blink our Spreading Seas, and our Wall of Omens. And of course, all the blink effects play really, really well with Sun Titan, because you Sun Titan, get back Flickerwisp, flicker Sun Titan, get back Charm Prince, flicker Sun Titan, get back Esper Sentinel, or whatever it may be. Also, a little bit of a lock in this deck as well. Ranger-Captain of Eos is obviously just a good card in general. But with Sun Titan and Ranger, you can sacrifice the Ranger on their upkeep every turn, keep them from playing non-creature spells. And then, if there's a Teferi in play, they can't play any instants. That locks them completely out of playing non-creature spells for the entire game. That's a lock against most combo decks and control decks in the format, which is kind of cool. And not really the primary plan of a deck, but all these cards are really good anyway. Teferi is obviously insane. Spreading Seas is great as well, so Blue Splash is well worth it. We're a Yorion deck, and of course, Yorion plays super well with all the blink stuff, which is really, really good. A lot of good removal here. Solitude and Prismatic Ending are obviously both insane. Great sideboard cards. Meddling Mage for the unfair matchups. Sanctifier, en-Vec, Auriok Champion, Soul Guide Lantern, and then Dovin's Veto. Another big part of Splashing Blue is a few counter spells as well, which is super nice. So, deck is a blast to play, and I'm very much looking forward to trying out this updated version. But first, we work from our sponsor at CoolStuffInc.com.
Cool Stuff Inc. is proud to sponsor Jim Davis. We offer great deals on card games, tabletop RPGs, board games, and more. Get a free token featuring Jim Davis and take 5% off your next order if you use the code JIM5 at checkout. CoolStuffInc.com. Cool stuff in stock.
All right, let's rock and roll. Yorion, I choose you. And I didn't mention this in the deck tech, but I love this. 1 copy of Idyllic Grange. This is the white entry of the Mystic Sanctuary cycle. And it comes by tap, unless you control 3 more planes. But if you do, you get to put a counter on a creature. So with a fetch land, this is a combat trick, which is actually really, really cool. And with 80 cards, unlikely to draw it in the opener. And if you do, as we see here, at the end of the world either. So we can keep this. We have Wall, Ephemerate, and Prince to go find ourselves a 3rd land, hopefully a blue source. We're on the draw. Field can also find blue. Actually, I'm sorry, there's no island in the deck. Can't find blue. But very important in decks like this where you're playing a payoff or playing a bunch of planes. To have all planes in your mana base. Every non-planes is a huge downside towards getting Emeria online. So, not playing an island for Field of Ruin, which is totally fun. Misty Rainforest to start for our opponent. Steam Vents. Darcy. Okay. We draw Prismatic Ending. So, unfortunately, the Grange is going to hurt us here. I would love to cast this ending here, but I can't. So, we're just going to say go. Unfortunately. Yorion can hang it right there. There you go, bud. So, this is probably going to be a tough game. Our hand is not great. And our opponent is on the play, playing Spell Pierces and just like a pretty good tempo deck. And they're going to consider bin, instant land, Only tag for one. Could be worse, I suppose. We draw a Heath. So we are now online for our blue mana. Now the question is Wall of Omens or Charming Prince or anything else? Teferi, Prismatic Ending. I could almost see just casting Ending here, honestly. Well, I would like to be a little more mana efficient than that, because maybe we can go Wall this turn, Prince next turn. Yeah, let's just play the Wall this turn. And we're not going to fetch Shock just yet. Let's play Wall. Draw a card. See what we draw. Draw Plains? Sure. And say go. Double spelling next turn is pretty nice. So here's an iteration for our opponent. This gets them pretty close to Delirium, but they didn't bin the cards. So I believe we're still going to have a 1-1 this turn. So they have a land. Up, Bobble will do it. Never mind. So they put a Bobble on the thing. They're going to play a second Channeler and then Bobble. So pretty good hand for them. Pretty good hand. We get to still Ending and Charming Prince Flickerwisp. So off to a pretty good start. I'd like to save this Teferi for the inevitable Murktide. Yeah, pretty good hand for our opponent. On the play is pretty huge too. About the closest thing you'll get to Delver Secrets, like Legacy Delver in Modern, in the blue-red Murktide deck. We're at 16. Waiting on our upkeep for our opponent to resolve their Bobble trigger. Maybe they'll forget it. We'd enjoy that. No? Alright, so draw Sun Titan. Alright, we got a ways to go for that one, but alright, we're just going to this comes back in the end step. I don't think there's a reason to play this Heath yet, so just cast Ending here. That resolved very fast. Play Charming Prince. We're going to exile Wall of Omens, draw us a card. And Esper Sentinel. Going to be a real good card against them, but obviously here on turn 4, not nearly as good. Even so, playing it with Teferi next turn means I might draw a card even if they counter it. So, let's see what they got here. Obviously, Wall of Omens not so good against Dragon Rage Channeler, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Here comes Darcy, in for 3. They go like land Murktide counterspell here. Things could be a little ugly. That would be the ideal sequence for them. Looks like it's happening. So, all right. This is a 6/6. If they have counterspell, also, we are probably dead this game. But what are you going to do? We have Ranger-Captain for Giant Killer, but I don't think I like that this turn. I think we need to just actually try and kill them. So if they have counterspell also, I think we're just dead. But what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Again, pretty good draw for them. Probably not a great matchup. The counterspell-y deck is usually, with a really fast clock, is going to be good against the mid-range sorcery speed deck as usual. So this is if you control 2 other basics. So unfortunately, we can't get that either. Yeah, all right. This is probably not going to resolve. But play Teferi time, Raveler. All right, now you need to hope it draws Solitude off our Sentinel trigger. One Solitude, please. Spell Pierce. They even have Spell Pierce to pay for the Sentinel. So yeah, pretty brutal game. Just a good draw for them. Just a good draw for them. On the play, we're much better shape this game, obviously, but not to be. Not to be. So we are, I guess we're not actually dead. We're effectively dead. Here, it's a pass turn. Don't think we have any outs here. Like range came in on tap. A lot of little things could have happened this game. Made the game better for us. I'm going to Murktide again. Sure. Yeah. So, yeah, tough first game. Tough first game. That's okay. That's okay. And we get to bring in... what? Verdict is pretty nice, actually. Verdict. Let's see what we're taking out. Force Spreading Sea is pretty easy to cut. Pretty easy to cut right off the bat. So that's Verdict's. And that's Dovin's Veto is like not great. Doesn't really win a counter war super well because it's very. The problem is that like it's important to win that counter war on like turn 3. So having Teferi and 2 mana left over for Veto is pretty tough. I don't hate Auriok Champion, honestly. Auriok Champion blocks Ragavan, just gains some life. Sanctifier, en-Vec. Isn't as exciting. Like, the life gain's actually pretty important. As if we had time that game, time to go find a Solitude or some, like, way to do that. Even, like, Flickerwisping a Murktide's kind of cool, where it changes the counters on it, so we have plenty of things to do. It just wasn't really a great draw for us. Soul Guide Lantern, it's not the worst, but it's not great. If it was a relic, we were drawing a card off, and I feel a lot better about it, but because we have to either exile their graveyard or draw a card, it's kind of crappy. Meddling Mage, Veto, nothing really super exciting here. Skyclave's great, Ranger's great, Solitude's great. We have a lot of good cards against them, honestly. Our walls aren't great, but whatever. I think this is fine. And then I should maybe cut this Martyr of Sands. Just a 1 of 2 or 4. Actually, you know what? Maybe it's fine. And gaining life's fine. And then, of course, Giant Killer is great, too. So, just need a little more time this game. Just need a little more time. Our hand was a little slow on the draw. They had a pretty good hand. And need a little more time to get things set up. And we draw Emeria, Plains Field, Wall, Prince, Auriok Champion. You can keep this. It's not great. We can keep it. All right, so Emeria go. And probably going to wall. They Ragavan, we're going to play Auriok Champion, but all right, there's Ragavan. So just get our champion down. Draw Solitude. Nice. We like that. We have our Wall of Omens plus Charming Prince engine to draw some cards. Powerful. Powerful. All right, there's a Darcy. There you go. 21. The life here is going to matter, too. This is going to gain probably 6 or 7 life over the course of this game, which is going to buy us at least an entire turn. Need a buddy Yorion here. It's hanging out my shoulder. Another Field of Ruin. So we're going to play Wall, obviously. We can hold it, so we draw a fetch summon and get a tap duel. Or we can just play Field, so if we draw a Ephemerate or white 1-mana spell. Yeah, I don't play the land. We've got 4 Ephemerate, 4 Esper Sentinels. I don't mind fetching a dual tap later, so play Wall. Get Spell Snare. I want to get Spell Snare. I love Spell Snare. All right, so always yes. Auto yield. Auto yield. Man, we love Field of Ruins. All right, I guess go. Board's pretty gummed up now. End step Lightning Bolt targeting me. Bold. Bold. They ban land, sure. Here comes Iteration, which is fine also. Definitely not solituding this Channeler, especially F6 here. The Channeler damage will be offset by the champion for the most part. The Solitude is definitely earmarked for a Murktide. There's your Bobble. This will give them the Delirium they need to get in for 3 in the air. Here it comes. And they have 4 cards left. They draw a Bobble, make it 5. We draw for turns a Ranger-Captain of Eos. The problem is we can't draw the card, or can't play the 1-drop off Ranger-Captain. So the Prince won't draw to the end step. That's pretty interesting, actually. Pretty interesting. Not being able to play the creature really sucks. I could also just Field of Ruin and then cast Charming Prince, which is kind of nice. Just get another white source in play for next turn. Mucks their sources up a little bit. Doesn't really do too much against them, but yeah, I think that's fine. And then we'll Ranger-Captain for either Giant Killer or just an Esper Sentinel. We'll see. So let's play this. Gonna field the Steam Vents. Get a Plains. Again, no island in the deck, which I think is correct. With Emeria. Only have so many blue cards in the deck, otherwise to cast them. But alright, so we're gonna move to the post-combat main phase. Their blue doesn't float. And then we're going to not attack, and we're going to play a Charming Prince. We're going to blink the Wall of Omens, draw another card, gain another life. We're at 18. There's our blue source. Cool. So, closing in on Hardcast Solitude. Teferi's lining up as well. Ranger-Captain's lining up too. And all the while building up towards Emeria. We got a ways to go for Emeria, but you know, we're getting there. Here comes Channeler. Man, good draws. Just turn 4 Murktide with 2 mana up both games. Alright. So we're gonna see how we're gonna play this one. Teferi bouncing Murktide's obviously great, but if they have a counterspell, it's not ideal. It's a 5/5 at present. We also have Solitude, so we can definitely kill this Murktide one way or another. Hallowed Fountain. It does suck that everything costs 3. That is, that's kind of annoying. We play Teferi, they like almost assuredly counter it. I can always hardcast Solitude on their turn, and then go for Ranger-Captain on my turn. Got Yorion. Killing Murktide's like pretty high priority. So you might want to just like play Teferi, they counter it, and then exile the Solitude and get the thing. But obviously we want to keep our Ranger-Captain pretty bad too. So not drawing a spell this turn was kind of not ideal. Yeah, I think it's going to be Hardcast Solitude on their turn, and then just Ranger-Captain plus Teferi on my turn and my next turn. We'll just take a small hit here. It's kind of unlikely they'll Delirium again, and obviously if they do, we're still not dead. So I think we're going to just play Heath. Say go. We'll upkeep it. So force them to have basically counterspell. The only downside to doing this is if they have Archmage's Charm, they can counter with that when they couldn't otherwise, but that taps them out mostly for my turn, so I think that's fine. So we're going to unsap. Or maybe not unsap, maybe say go. They're going to cast Consider. Okay, so I mean, now we're going to cast Solitude on our turn, so. Oops. So let the Consider resolve. They've been to Murktide. They've been a Channeler. We fetch. This is where our Prairie Stream comes in. Having 1 Prairie Stream is a great addition of a deck. And we're going to cast Solitude. And if it resolves, we're going to be really, really happy. It looks like it will. All right, that's excellent. That's excellent. So now we have time. Time to do the things you want to do. Expressive Iteration. That is going to be Delirium again for Channeler, but now I have a Lifelinker in play also. So, and any blink effect I draw will also be insane. I think that it might be a sign that our opponent does not have Counterspell in their hand. They were willing to instead consider there, because our play was pretty face up. We just like said go with 5 mana, 5 cards in our hand, and a Yorion not put in our hand. So like pretty obvious Solitude, and they were still willing to just draw cards, not leave Counterspell up. So play some baubles, bin some cards. In for 3. No blocks. Champion's been good this game. Champ's been real good. I'm not sure on the split between Champion and Sanctifiers on the board, but I think Champion might be better. That's what my gut was saying. And this game is kind of bore that fruit. Wall of Omens. All right, so it's funny because like I actually kind of like the idea of double fielding them. I think they only have 3 basics. They could have 4, but Wall's pretty good too. Ranger-Captain's pretty good as well. Teferi is like pretty good, but not necessarily likely to resolve. Let's just start by attacking with our Solitude here. I think the Prince can get into actually. It's possible Prince could have gotten in the last turn. That was being a little too, or the turn prior, but back of trade Solitude. That makes our blinks worse, but the trade is fine. We gain some life too, so I don't think we're gonna die to a single Dragon Rage Channeler. So And then we're going to attempt a Ranger-Captain and see what happens. Counterspell. Sure. And now I can just resolve Teferi, so that's pretty awesome. And play land. Play Teferi. They bobble in response. Minus bounce this. I guess I could have done this like before combat. Next thing they have Ragavan too. Maybe this champion could have gotten into. I'm playing a little passively for sure, but all right, and things are looking pretty good. We got 2 Murktides down. The one thing about these Ragavan decks, or I mean the Murktide decks, is that they are pretty threat light. They have really good openers, but if you can deal with the first few threats, they can struggle at times to re-put together another good threat and interaction. There's Channeler. They're gonna bin some stuff. Play a Spire Bluff Canal. And tap out for an Archmage's Charm to draw 2 cards. Now with the fairies in play, I think we're in really good shape. So, untap, draw. Yeah, pretty sure this is nice for us. So let's play cast Solitude. And play the Grange. Put a counter on the Solitude. Damn straight. Wall of Omens. And yeah, I think we're in good shape now. Got 4 planes. This is 5, 6, 7. So Dress Down. Creatures lose all abilities. That's cute. They have a sweeper here? No, just bolt the Teferi. Okay. No longer as pro red. Play Ragavan. Also has no abilities. Alright, so yeah, looking pretty good here. Planes. So we're just gonna like field twice, play Auriok Champion. It's pretty cool. Let's attack with everything. Champion can get into because we have 2 walls down a block, so just gonna trade, sure. Yeah, Ragavan's not particularly good good anymore, so we're gonna field. And we're gonna field. Is that any basics they got? Is it 3 island? Is 3 island on 1 mountain? It might be. No mountains actually. Okay. And then we're gonna play another Auriok Champion and play a Hallowed Fountain. Counterspell, sure, whatever. Couldn't care less. So you go. Now you got 7 planes in play, and Emeria goes off every turn. So game 3, obviously the draw is gonna be a little harder than this game was, but we'll see if we can't have a game a little more like this one than the first one. And we answered that first Murktide, which bought us enough time to do all our things. Our deck grinds very, very well. Just need to have time to get things done. And get back Ranger-Captain of Eos. And that'll do it. I imagine the first Emeria trigger will often elicit a concession because it really is quite the end game. So now we're on the draw, and the question is, do we want to have any more help? Sanctifier does help keep the Darcy's under control a little bit. I could see maybe considering bringing Sanctifier in as well, which in the draw. Maybe we want to cut down on. I mean, Flickerwisp is like, it's fine. It blocks Darcy. Like Martyr of Sands, Giant. I kind of want all of those, honestly. Solitude, Verdict, Sun Titan, Ending, March. All these cards seem pretty good. I mean, I suppose the mixture of Skyclaves plus Endings plus March is like a lot of answers for 1-drops. And the 1-drops aren't even that good. So maybe we shave like a March and shave like a Skyclave. Try and keep our 3-drop slot a little less clunky. Because also, like, the Ragavans all get answered by all the 1-drops, too. So, it's a lot of answers just to Darcy, which is important, obviously, but not the end of the world. The real threat's Murktide plus Counterspell for the most part. Yeah, I think I like this. Is March better than Skyclave? Maybe it is, actually. In theory, March could also kill a Murktide. That's pretty ambitious. March costs 2 to kill the... I think this is fine. March is like a little clunky. Let's try this. So, just gotta try and keep them off of their good tempo draw. Choose Yorion. Ugh. So, gross hand, only 2 lands, no blue, no 1-drops, no 2-drops. We're gonna mulligan this hand pretty quickly. Mulligan to a pretty awkward 2-lander. That's also really bad. Can we afford to go to 5? I think we have to. If these were like Wall of Omens, or like a Wall of Omens and an Auriok Champion, maybe, but like Prince is pretty bad. The Ranger-Captain's slow with only 2 lands. Yeah, we're gonna mulligan 5. Alright, much better. Infinitely better hand. We're gonna ship Heath and I'm sorry, I shouldn't have Heath. Hold on, cancel. We're gonna ship Prairie Stream and Plains on the draw. Maybe it's Emeria, actually. Emeria is like so yeah, so we can just go turn 1 ending, turn 2 wall or Auriok Champion. I like that better. So you have turn 1 ending, turn 2 wall or Auriok Champion, and just try and draw our way back into the game. Emeria is too slow, and the Prairie Stream is not going to be on just yet, so this is fun. Turn 1 ending is pretty important. Against Ragavan or Darcy? Nothing. Okay, cool. Means I can fetch a duel, which is kind of nice. Need to draw some lands here, obviously. We're on a mulligan to 5. It's not pleasant, but... This is good for us. This is good. Make it a Triome. No pressure. Time to do stuff. I'm gonna counter my Wall of Omens. I don't think so. They're gonna counter my Wall of Omens. Kind of sucks if they do, honestly. Wow, this is unreal. All right. So if I was trying to play around a counterspell, I would have played Charming Prince just to scry and try and make a 3rd land drop. I just didn't think they would ever counter Wall of Omens. Maybe it's like because I'm mulligan, maybe. Shit, god damn it. All right. I'm just gonna play Charming Prince to try and scry here. Like, unfortunate. Definitely not fun to mulligan to 5 for the land of resources. They're gonna draw 2, sure. And so we're gonna scry 2. And keep the land on top. Do I want the Ephemerate also? I don't think so. Keep land on top. So you go. So next turn I have Champion and Sentinel, which isn't too bad. It's funny, not having the wall in play is pretty bad, because now all our flicker effects don't draw a card. Bolt the Prince, sure. And play Murktide. Murktide will be a 5/5. Dash Ragavan. Okay, sure. They hit a Flooded Strand. And then cast Murktide? Alright. Well, we are a little screwed here, in that even that we can't really do anything. We can Flickerwisp the Murktide, make it a 3/3, which honestly isn't that bad. We probably need to do that. So, we Flickerwisp it. I would love to play Champion and Sentinel, block the Ragavan, and just get that in play, but we got to shrink this now while we still can, I think, so let's do that. Let's Flickerwisp this. Comes back, it's 3/3. It's a little tough here because, like, our goal is to kind of stay alive, but on the mulligan to 5, we're just down so many cards that, like, we can't even reliably stay alive and just, like, survive. Let's take this trade literally all day. Ragavan hits. Oh my god. Alright, pretty lucky. Ragavan hits the Teferi, pretty lucky. It's probably going to do it for us. Pretty good. All right. Plus Teferi. And now they can just like kind of play control games, just like so ahead on cards. All right. I mean, we get the cast stuff here, which is not too bad, I guess. Here's Sentinel, here's Champion, here's Ending. Well, Ending not yet, but there's a chance. Obviously, Sentinel's not good. Remember, we're behind multiple lands on turn 5, you know, but we'll try our best, folks. We'll try our best. They have 5 cards in hand, and Teferi's not drawn a card yet. So bounce the Auriok Champion, sure. A Dash Ragavan. No more good hits, please. It's a pretty good hit. It's a pretty good hit. Draw Supreme Verdict. I mean, that will be good, probably, honestly. All right. Do we want to... No, we're not going to Ending our own Sentinel here. Just play Champion, see what happens. Problem is they have so much mana now they can just dash Ragavan every turn and never actually cast it. So... just going to say go. They are up many, many, many cards. Really love to have 2 more cards here. Crack Canopy. Crack Bobble. Teferi's on 3. Iteration, jeez. So a lot of card advantage. Again, up 2 cards in the mulligan, drew 2 cards off the charm, and then now 2 cards off iteration. So they're plus like 5 cards this game already. They get a Murktide here. We want to Wrath. We want to hit the Ragavan too. I don't necessarily want to hit my own Auriok Champion. This question is, am I gonna Wrath here or not? Just let them Ragavan again. They're gonna Ragavan either way, honestly. I think we're gonna try and milk it. Maybe they'll try and Teferi bounce my champion next turn and get Ragavan in. And we can just like get a really lucky verdict. We have 6 cards in hand. Ephemerate. Yikes. Yikes. Alright, so there you go. I think the best chance here is they like chuck the Teferi to bounce this, dash Ragavan when I get to verdict with the champion still in my hand, maybe? I don't know. I don't think there's really a path to victory here, honestly. We're just behind so many resources, it's just like ridiculous. Maybe I should cast the Prince on turn 2 over the wall. If the wall had been in play, I would have drawn like a fair cards this game. Excuse me. Seven cards in hand. So many options. So many options. Which means they need to think through all of them. So you need to think through all of them. I want to remind you always the companion article to this video, as always, on CoolStuffInc.com. I do a video article Monday, a written article Friday. All right, we got to do the thing. So, and that's a lot of content. Free content every weekday. CoolStuffInc.com. Cool Stuff is the best place to buy all your games. Promo code Jim5, 5% off your order. All the usual good stuff. Ragavan token 7 cards in hand. All right, so we draw a land here. No, it's not when I wrap. They draw a card anyway. Yeah, this is pretty gross. All right, we got to do it. So they go up to 8 cards. Maybe we'll get them discard to hand size. It's a possibility, right? Yeah, I mean, turn 8, only have 4 lands in play. Just a pretty typical mulligan to 5 game. It's just don't have enough resources, you know. They get to Ragavan again. They're gonna draw some cards. Yeah, they literally have 10 cards in their hand. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Dash Ragavan. And they're probably gonna go to 3 and bolt us. They can guess it. They can guess Sun Titan now too. Like, you can guess anything. Yeah, sure. All right, so tough first match. On the draw in game 1, they had a really good hand, and we just fell a little behind. And obviously, the mulligan to 5 this game wasn't ideal, but pretty classic tempo versus mid range matchup where if we can just weather the storm, typically we can usually outgrind them. But this game we were just down too many cards, so it's all right. 1-0. All right, round 2, back in the style. Let's try that one again. We're on the draw again. We got our Yorion as our buddy, and we have a decent hand here. Wall of Omens, Solitude. We have a Ephemerate Solitude if they're playing creature deck, and if not, we're just fine. Wall plus Ephemerate's also good too. Spire, Bluff Canal, say go. All right, this is gonna be another Ragavan deck, or Hallowed Fountain go. End step. Oh, I love it. You love to see an end step lightning bolt targeting you on turn 1. Only surpassed by turn 1 main phase lightning bolt to you. That is the only way to make that play any better. So something aggressive here. Probably think I'm playing control deck with the Yorion and the Hallowed Fountain. Scalding Tarn, go. Oh yeah, how do you like them apples? Wall of Omens. What do you got for me? Please don't counter some of my Wall of Omens again. All right, thank God. Draw a card. Skyclave. All right. Crack Tarn. This is a main phase crack, not on my end step. Basic snow-covered island. Iteration. Sure. So could be Murktide. Could be a control deck or something too, but fetching basic. Could be a blue Moony deck, I guess, something like that too, but we got Ephemerate on Wall of Omens. We got Skyclave if we want it. Building up towards big mighty Sun Titan. They get snow-covered island, sure. We got Flickerwisp. That's pretty good. So we were gonna get to consider Ephemerating this, but now we can just Flickerwisp it, which is great. So play you'll creep fingers here. Flickerwisp the wall. Say go, draw a card. Keep those cards coming. Very creepy. Very creepy white card. Very creepy white card. Iteration again. Sure. Opponent not doing too much this game. Not doing too much this game so far. As a bobble. All right, it's still a Murktide deck. Just a Murktide deck on kind of a bad draw. All right, so a lot of cards in hand. Obviously, they've cast double iteration this game. We have a lot of cards too. So now they have 8 cards in hand. And we are going to untap and draw a Martyr of Sands, which is not particularly exciting here. But we got options. They actually missed the land drop too. Somewhat tempting just to Ephemerate, honestly. And get our little Wall of Omens engine going here. Putting Yorion in hand, not really that useful. Playing Martyr's fine. Martyr's just like a cheeky one-up for the Ranger-Captain. It might not be correct. There were 2 in the board of the initial list. I kind of wanted to have access to one against like the red deck matchups, but I didn't want to have it in the board. Just put it main. We have 80 cards. I feel like you won't draw it, but maybe you just will. So, I guess I should get a Triome, actually, not Prairie Stream, because I want the red for... Actually, that nothing they have cost 2 or 3, I mean, so just get Prairie Stream. I have the Grange, too. That was a bad fetch. I had a lot more options than I thought I did. Could have gotten the Grange, pump this thing up, too, but we're just gonna Ephemerate this Wall of Omens, I think. And then probably play Martyr also. Just get the Ephemerate thing going. Suppose there's a reason to want to untap Flickerwisp, so, but I want to draw a card now, I think, so let's do it now. 1 white mana, draw 2. Draw like Teferi or something like that here. Wall of Omens, sure. Let's play Wall again. Ephemerate, sure. Play Martyr, just like go. I mean, like, they've given us so much time to, like, do our stuff this game that we're, like, in pretty good shape, I think. Martyr of Sands, definitely testing the limits to how much, 1 white mana for X life will be playable. Possibly too cute. Possibly too cute. Blue. We got a Merc here. Blue, red. Unholy Heat targeting the Flickerwisp. Alright, so they're going to kill that, then Merc. We're going to hardcast Solitude, so that's great. Actually, hold on. That wouldn't do anything. So I could Ephemerate the Solitude, but then I should, like I respond to this, but need to actually do. Actually, I can't. I don't have mana, so sure. So rebound. Target here. Draw a card. Cool. And play land and just cast the Ephemerate. Or Solitude, I mean. It's pretty good. Attack for 1, so they go. And then, yeah. They give us time, we can grind really well. It just comes down to, like, can they pressure us enough to make the counterspells good? This time, they've missed the land drops, so a little bit of vindication for our last match, I suppose. This is our Merc-type opponent having a bad hand, and us having a good hand. 1 red. Sure. So kill Solitude, so no blinky shenanigans, but we're just in great shape here, so. Ranger-Captain. Also Flickerwisp. Just gonna start casting spells. They can counter things if they want to. I don't really care. Sure, counter this. That's fine. Play Flickerwisp. Flicker this, attack for 1, and like, yeah, definitely past the point of no return for them. Got the old Sun Titan lined up. We're going to be careful not to run into a counterspell. Darcy. Heat targeting Wisp. A little Surveil action. Dress down will give them Delirium. No, it won't actually. I'm sorry. Instance, Artifact, Enchantment. Huh. Untap and draw a land. Alright, so we're going to cast the Skyclave here. Maybe we'll just cash in our Martyr of Sands here, honestly. Just like Yeah, but play put Yorion in hand, cash in Martyr. They might just scoot me revealing my hand, so. Yeah, I'm not getting Grange. Skip Plains. Play Skyclave. If they counter it, cool. If they don't, cool. Yeah, eat this. Feels like garbage time at this point. I think we're too far ahead for anything to matter. 30 life, 2 Sun Titans, Yorion. Ephemerate for good measure. Lightning Bolt Skyclave, get a 1/1, absolutely. Gonna decide when I want to cast these Sun Titans. Already cast a counterspell. Dress down. Emeria. Oh my god. Alright, cool. It's Sun Titan time. Go ahead, counter it. I dare you. I dare you. Alright. Well, I got news for you, friend. That one's coming back next turn. That one's coming back. Let me hear that again. Let me hear that again. There's Emeria. Your turn. You don't really want to get into a late game with this deck. That is definitely for sure. That is definitely for sure. So Emeria, of course, returns any creature. So Sun Titan will come back and return Flickerwisp, which will flicker it, which will come back, return Flickerwisp, which will flicker it, will turn back, and get a Skyclave or whatever the hell we want. We also have Ephemerate lined up too. So it is an embarrassment of riches at present. End step, unsap, Emeria, target Sun Titan. Always yes. Always yes. This is going to target Flickerwisp. This is going to target Sun Titan. What if we had another Sun Titan? I haven't drawn a card yet. Teferi? That's cool too, I guess. Play Teferi. Spell Pierce. You can pay that. You can pay that. And bounce this. Ranger-Captain of Eos. At this point, I think we're actually in lock territory at this point, where now we can start stacking Ranger-Captain every turn, and they can't play spells because we have Teferi in play also. So we're just gonna say go. We're gonna sack Ranger-Captain on their upkeep. Now they can only cast creatures. Sun Titan gets back another. Already have another Ranger-Captain. Let's get a Flickerwisp, whatever. You don't want to let things get to this point with this deck. Flicker this. All right, they're gonna concede. That was the point of no return for them. So Murktide again. We're gonna bring in our Supreme Verdicts, our pro. I'm gonna bring in all the pro creatures actually, even on the draw. And then I don't want Veto. I don't think I want Lantern. Cut the 4 Spreading Seas, and you could like shave a Skyclave in a March maybe. Especially in the play. Especially in the play. We just have the turn 2 pro red creatures to deal with the Ragavan also, so you have a lot of answers to Ragavan. The walls also, princes, so like this. Like this. Yorion, I choose you. Hand is it's okay. It's not great because we can't actually have a answer return to Ragavan, but we have Skyclave and Teferi and good mana, and we're on the draw. They pull them all into 6. We're gonna keep. So we're drawing to any 1 or 2 mana spell in our entire deck for 2 draws. So fetch. Also Solitude works too. I'm not sure about Solitude Ragavan or not though. Solituding a Murktide's like really important. Alright, well they just fetch a tap land, sure. Excuse me. Just gonna say go again. I mean, this is all fine by me. And Verdict is nice too here because it gives us an actual clean answer to Murktide without worrying about them having a counterspell up. So when they take this sort of like less tempo-y stance of not playing the creatures early and try and be like a pseudo control deck, a Verdict answers the Murktide really, really well. And they're not actually playing control decks. They don't have cards like Teferi and Jace to draw cards, so they can't really play the full control game. So, all right, we're gonna play land. They obviously have a counterspell here. The question is, what do I want to offer up? I think we're just playing champion here. Obviously, they counter it, whatever. If they don't counter it, great. Next, I make a Ranger-Captain and Ephemerate, which is kind of cool. We get Teferi, we get Verdict. But I'd rather them counter this than cast Archmage's Charm, so... Cool. Love it. Cool. Love it. Deciding on draw 2 or counter it. I'd much rather them counter it and draw 2, so that's what we're going to do, it looks like. All right, sure. All right, it's end-step, draw 2. Gotta play this pseudo control game again. Yeah, it didn't really work out in game 1. They missed the land drop too, I guess, but I think that given enough time, we can like work our way around stuff. Rest down. Sure. They go to bolt my champion here. We're just gonna let it happen. We could save it with Ephemerate, but we're not getting much value off of it. Just not worth it. Sure, this is fine. Without them having Ragavan or Channeler, the champion really isn't even that important. So never tapped out. I resolved Teferi. I could try and resolve Teferi. They do have a possible spell pierce here. I was playing Ranger-Captain. Ranger-Captain Esper Sentinel, I think. We could leave up Ephemerate for the captain, but I think playing Esper Sentinel's probably better. They'll be incentivized to want to kill the Sentinel, not the captain, and then we'll have captain for later, so it's cool. Esper Sentinel's real good. Play Channeler, play Iteration. Sentinel tax goes off. Will they pay it? If they do, it means we're safe to resolve Teferi, probably, which is cool. We like that. We like that. Been a land. They have enchantment, instant, land. About to have Delirium with the sorcery. Because they have Delirium, they're going to heat targeting Sentinel. Sure. Because they have Delirium, and we could try and like Teferi plus, try to keep it alive. But I think we just want a Skyclave. A lot of threes here. A lot of threes. First things first, let's just stack. Let's just stack and see what's up. I doubt they're going to block, but we're not blocking, so just start there. Wow. They blocked. Okay. Now I think we're just playing Teferi and plussing. They can heat it, though. That's kind of the issue, is they can heat it. Give Skyclave too. That was a block. Yeah, it was a surprising block. If I played Teferi plus and they heat it, it feels pretty bad. They've already cast 2 heats, though. I think we're just going to do it. Oops. Play Teferi. Plus. Play Strand. Say go. They have one of the 2 remaining heats that can heat it. If not, then obviously Teferi and Blaze Insane against them. They have Murktide. We have Verdict. They have a Ragavan. I guess Ragavan Bolt is a little annoying, but has to deal damage to a player to trigger. So if they act at Teferi, we don't really mind that much. Sure. Definitely Ragavan getting around our sorcery speed removal is kind of annoying, but they hit a Sun Titan. Not quite. Not quite just yet. Would be real good if they could cast it, but not quite. Not quite. Second main. Second main. End. Sure. Crack this. We're going to get ourselves another Hallowed Fountain. All right. Untap with Teferi in play. And we draw Solitude. That will do it. That will do it. So now we just hard cast Solitude. And I want to have this fetch land up to make it a 3-2. Or 4-3, I mean. Pretty good draw. Pretty good draw. Gonna dash the old Raggy again. Oh, play Consider. Blue, blue. Could also Merc here, I guess. Merc is interesting because, like, we kind of want to Verdict the Merc. We can Ephemerate too, though. Whatever, this is fine. So this resolves. Two red. Dash. Should give it. Should gonna give it all to us. Just gonna give it all to us. All right. There's no way we can do everything here. I want to put the counter on the Solitude. We just like can't. So we cast Solitude. I also want to like pitch spell it, but I don't want to do that. So sure, game's just over. All right, so kind of a little karma there, I guess. That was a Ragavan Murktide opponent not drawing well, us drawing pretty well and just crushing them. A little penance for our first match. We're 1-1. We're 1-1. All right, Yorion, I choose you. On the draw, third match. Oh my God, this hand's so bad. Oh God, Charming Prince. Why are you so mediocre? And there's a bunch of threes. Skyclave is good. It's a good catch-up card for sure. I guess we're gonna keep. I'm gonna begrudgingly keep this hand. On the draw, 2 scries to find a land. Skyclave to mop up the early stuff. Teferi's also pretty good too. I'm gonna keep. I'm not really happy about it, but you know, no 1-mana plays. You know, no Sentinel. Oh God, they're gonna play Sentinel. Sure. All right, so it's probably the Hammer Time deck. Could be Affinity too, I guess. But yeah, all right. We draw land. So you go. We're playing freaking Grizzly Bears in turn 2. Skyclave. Let's see if this is all right. That's not Hammer Times. This is a Affinity deck. Okay, so this is like the Urza blue-white Affinity deck. Double Prototype. Okay. I've seen better draws. That's good for us. Spreading Seas. Charming. I'm wondering if Spreading Seas is even necessary in the main deck, honestly. It's obviously good in the bad matchups like Tron and Big Mana and things, but Ephemerate Plains. Ephemerate Skyclave is really good. I think we probably want to have access to both of these. Even though this is not a blue source, I think that I just want to guarantee Ephemerate Skyclave on turn 5. So I'm going to keep this. Top. Teferi is not super interesting here, and then Spreading Seas is not going to be necessary, hopefully, for a bit. They are an Urza Saga deck, so it will be good eventually, but Hallowed Fountain, shock. Sentinel number 2. They have a Shadow Spear. That's 5 artifacts. They have Thought Monitor also. Alright, so that makes them better, obviously, but we'll see what we can do. No attacks. Start Skyclaving. We're going to start targeting Sentinels. Shadow Spear is not really a concern just yet, so need to decide how deep I want to go next turn. If I'm willing to let them draw a card off Ephemerate to kill more stuff, or just play Ranger-Captain. They're gonna block. Wow, that's sweet. I'm stoked about that. Honestly, it's one less artifact in play, higher value card than my card. It's a flyer. It just all seems pretty good to me. Tap 2, Thopter Foundry. Now the question is this a Sword of the Meek deck? It looks like it is. I mean, we still just have Ephemerate Skyclave, so can eat the Foundry. So this is an old school combo. You haven't played Modern in a while, or you're new to Modern or something like that. Thopter Foundry, Sword of the Meek. Thopter Foundry allows you to sacrifice an artifact and put a Thopter in play. This says whenever a 1 comes into play, if it's in your graveyard, it comes back. So basically what this is, 1 mana to make a 1/1 flyer and gain 1 life every turn. So pretty good, but we just have Ephemerate Ranger-Captain, so it's not too bad. We should get to eat the Thopter Foundry. The question is, do I want to allow them to draw a card and get Ranger-Captain and cast Ranger-Captain, or just not let them draw a card? I think we just want to let them draw a card. I think it's fine. So we're going to just do it, I guess, right? Yeah, sure. You can draw your card. You can draw your card. And then Ranger-Captain's going to go get... Right? Yeah, I think so. Ranger-Captain's going to go get... Maybe even... I shouldn't do it. Inspector. We need some blue, obviously. That'd be nice. Alright, so... She's going to sacrifice it and make a Thopter. If they have another Thopter is the problem, but... And now you have Skyclave with nothing under, which is kind of cool, so we get to do that again next turn. Ranger-Captain's going to go get, I think just Inspector. Giant Killer has no targets. Obviously, they draw like an Analyst, you could have a target, but I think it's just fine. Get the Inspector and try and draw some lands. And pass the Alternate, they have 2 cards in hand. Got a real motley crew here of an Illusion token, a Thopter token, and an Esper Sentinel. Get a Plains. If they have Urza here, I suppose this might be bad. So they're just making me a bunch of mana right off the start. All right. We obviously have Rebound on Skyclave, so that's Urza. Urza's really good. Urza makes a monstrous Construct token. There's a Moon Snare. There's out of cards, though, so they can spin Urza once, and then we Ephemerate Skyclave and just eat it, which is fine. And then we have to deal with this Construct token, which we will we have Teferi for if we draw a blue source. Pretty good. I think we're in pretty good shape here, all things considered. Spin Urza. Top card is a Seachrome Coast, so they can play it on turn. They're going to play Lamb's turn, though, right? So they get nothing. They get nothing. Ephemerate. Rebound. We're going to Skyclave the Urza, because Urza's way too good. I'll pay the 1. Pay the 1 this time around. And blink this. Hit this. And we draw a card for turn. Blue source? No. We're gonna Inspector draw. Look for a blue source here. We have tap lands. Let's do it now. Damn it. I mean, that works too, I guess, right? We can flicker. We go flicker the thing. So we'll just chump block this for a turn. And I guess they have Shadow Spear. All right, Shadow Spear's a bonk. That's a bonk for sure. They got no cards in hand, though. And with no cards in hand, they draw Thopter Foundry. No, yes, maybe. Stolen Forge Mystic. That was also a good draw. That was also a good draw. All right. Sure. Teferi would be really good to cast anytime now. They get Nettle Cyst, sure. They're short 1 mana to equip Nettle Cyst to construct and equip Shadow Spear. Oh, never not actually. Yeah, they are. So there's Nettle Cyst. This card's real good. This card's real good. Make it 9/9. Equip. I think we're dead. That was a pretty insane draw. We just can't play our cards fast enough. We just don't have a blue source, and we just kind of like fumbled around a little too much here. So we can blink one of these. Oh, we're good now. Never mind. I'm sorry. They can move it. They move assist though. I can't ending this as I have no colors. This sucks. Tough game here. Tough game. Turn 6. No blue. Only 4 lands. I guess I can like. That works. So we can ending the construct and then Flickerwisp the Skyclave and eat the Nettle Cyst. Which is not necessarily great, but it does play. Okay, it's gonna give them a 4/4 with their Shadow Spear, but it just is what it's gonna have to be. So I can't end anything else. So yeah, all right. So we're going to Flickerwisp. What did I say I'm gonna do? Yeah, do this. Ending the construct. Draw a card too. Shit, it's so stupid. All right, fine. All right, so I draw a card, and we Flickerwisp our Skyclave. We can target the germ, then just move Nettle Cyst. So we got to actually hit the Nettle Cyst itself. They're gonna get a 4/4 off this, which kind of sucks, but we're behind. We're definitely behind. Again, Teferi would be unbelievable here for bouncing tokens and stuff like that, but I cannot produce a Teferi right now. So, and we're gonna get the Nettle Cyst. No more good draws, please. Just draw like a Moonsnare prototype or something like that. You know, maybe a land. No more good draws. No more good draws. Emeria's pretty good too. Now they can recast their Thopter Foundry. Yeah, only heaters for our opponent. Only heaters, unfortunately, this game. 4 lands, all spells. And we just cannot cast our stuff. So here comes the illusion. We can block it with... I'm going to put the Sword of the Meek on it. I love seeing that old Sword of the Meek grip. We're just like dead. I don't think we have any outs anymore. We need to draw a way to deal with this Emery. As well as to cast our spells and so on and so forth. And we're going to game 2 here. Feels like it should be a 5 matchup, honestly, but we just like can't cast our spells. So that dies 33-9. Re-equip something else. And then we need to deal with this Emery as well as the board. All right. That's a start, I guess. This takes Emery. And now they just like pants up this Thopter token. Put the sword on the Stoneforge to make it a 2/4. Play a Secret Realm Ghost and get in. Can't really afford to block here and give him a 3/3, so sure. Let's just draw a blue source, please. No. No. All right, so nothing has 4 power for that. Let's play Ranger-Captain. Again, no island in our deck, so which I think is correct. I know I've said that a few times now, but we've got Martyr, Giant Killer, or Sentinel. I guess Martyr gains 6 block. He's not the worst in the world, so we'll do that. Buy us a little more time here. And as far as attack, maybe I should actually attack first. I think one of these can get in. Kind of doubt they would double block. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know. I should like attacked first, but all right, so take 2. Say go. I have a better blocker too, so move sword to flyer. It's funny, like I almost like don't want to reveal that we're playing blue. But we can like definitely win this game, so if we just draw Blue Saurus, bounce this Stopter, I think we're in like okay shape. Okay, that's an Urza Saga. Now we probably can't beat that too. Because I can't play Saga and Teferi. I mean, play Teferi and Spreading Seas. I'm just going to untap. I can always sack this later anyway. Just untap and draw. It's not a blue land. I'm just going to concede. Yeah, I'm not going to reveal that we're playing blue. I think it's unlikely we can win this game at our current spot, and I think they just don't want to reveal that we're playing blue. So, Artifacty deck. We're going to sideboard in Verdicts. And honestly, not much else. Honestly, we got our C's are great because they have Sagas. Honestly, everything looks pretty good. Giant Killer's fine, Martyr's fine, Inspector's fine. The Blinky effects are good at flickering their stuff. I even want these. We're like pretty creature heavy too. Ending March, Sun Titan, Solitude, Skyclave. Teferi seems good too. It bounces tokens. I don't think I want these. I'll bring one on the draw, but I don't think I want them. All right, so let's have a better hand here in game 2. You're gonna choose you. That's better. That's better. Keep this. Not amazing, but solid. Turn 1 Sentinel's pretty good. Opponent ball against the 6. All right, so opponent's on 6 cards. We got turn 1 Sentinel. We're saying go. Oh, draw me a card, please. Draw me a card. Why did I get my hopes up like that, huh? I was so excited to draw a card. I was so happy. Oh, never mind. Drawing a card. We're good. We're good. Just kidding. All right, so Ranger-Captain. We're going to be able to Grange this, make it a 2/2. We got a Ranger-Captain of Eos next turn. What for? Not sure yet. Now they have Saga. No, we have no Spreading Seas, no Teferis. That's okay. That's okay. So now we're holding a Giant Killer to kill their Saga token. Could have a Metallic Rebuke here, but whatever. Honestly, I think whatever, it's fine. You draw a card anyway, right? No, they can pay for it. Whatever, this is fine. Cast Ranger-Captain. You got a Rebuke? Sure. So they rebuke it, and they can pay the 1. Better here than anywhere else, you know? So rebuke, pay the 1. We'll attack for 1. I guess I can see an argument for like doing nothing there. It's like the rebuke was like so obvious. But getting out of their hand is pretty valuable. There's an Emery. That means no activation on Urza Saga this turn. It's pretty great. And they only hit a Shadow Spear. They're breaking off pretty bad this game. If they crack this Bobble, maybe they wouldn't be, but they are breaking off pretty bad this game. All right, Bobble. Untap. Draw. Teferi Time Raveler. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. We are gonna play a land and attack and see if they fall for my my trick, my little Grange. Oh, down on the Grange. All right, we got him. Nobody knows what this card does. Nobody. It's a 2/2. They're gonna scoop. Concession in 3, 2, 1. Oh no, really? All right, sure. Keep playing. And then we'll pay the 1 here. And then we're not gonna bounce Saga because I can't even use it well enough. I'm just gonna bounce this Sentinel. Draws a Teferi, cool. So we got Solitude lined up, Sun Titan lined up. This goes up. They can float a 1. But what are they gonna do? Get like a Springleaf Drum or something like that, maybe. But like, I think we're in great shape now. Oh, down on the Grange. Get a drum. They can join my band, my country band, down on the Grange. Cool art. Cool art. Every hero's journey starts somewhere. Blue, colorless. Gotta pay 2 for now for each card. We draw more cards. Recast Sentinel. Tap for mana. Yada, yada, yada. Place Stoneforge Mystic. Sure. Get Nettle Cyst. Interesting. No Kaldar or Batterskull or anything like that. We draw Skyclave. I mean, we got ways to blink this bad boy. We also have Solitude now, so we just like, maybe we're just like Solituding, honestly. Force them to hardcast it. Yeah, I'm just gonna Solitude and attack. Just like eat this. Attack for 2. We can always Flickerwisp his next turn. Moon Snare prototype, draw card. Oh yeah, Skyclaves for days. These decks used to be a thing like years ago, these Emeria decks, but the card quality was always really, really, really low. As you can see now, the card quality is pretty high. You know, these are some of the best cards in the format. Esper Sentinel, Solitude, Teferi, Skyclave, Prismatic Ending. So the fact that like a lot of good white cards have printed in the last few years, you know, and now that playing a million planes in your deck isn't like embarrassing. Deck's pretty sweet. Deck's pretty sweet. Now we're on the draw. Are we interested in playing Supreme Verdict? I'm not sure, honestly. Like, there are certainly boards I would like to mop up. Yeah, I probably want the Supreme Verdicts. It's not so great against Nettle Cyst, but and the question is, what am I cutting? I guess my Ranger Captains aren't great. You can like shave a captain. Honestly, Martyr of Sands is pretty bad too. Just cut these 2. Cool, it does. Ranger Captain just like, you know, Giant Killer is pretty good, I guess, but something's got to go in the 3-drop slot. There's too many 3-drops, so Skyclave's great. All right, we got no blue, but we have Wall of Omens, Skyclave, and Spreading Seas. We're going to keep this. As soon as we draw blue, this handles Saga. This handles the early attackers. Skyclave handles whatever. I don't think you want an island. Maybe we want an island. I don't know. Sentinel, sure. Our hand's very creature-y, which is good. Spreading Seas. All right. It is only okay. It's definitely not great. Sentinel number 2. Moon Snare prototype. All right. Show me not a blue source. All right. I mean, obviously Skyclave is pretty good here. So it's Ephemerate. Ending's pretty good too. We don't want to give them any cards off these though, so how our next few turns play out is probably going to be a little awkward, but okay. Okay, sure. I understand. Only creatures, got it. 2 cards left. 4 artifacts in play. Believe they can cast a Thought Monitor here. Block. Get in there, Wall of Omens. All right. This looks a little fishy as far as Metallic Rebuke goes. Or we're not. Punch the Monitor. It's a weird no attack. Why don't you tap this one? Whatever, sure. They draw 2. Not ideal. We have Field of Ruin. We have Plains. Sure, play the field. We're just going to start Skyclaving. Just like lowers the artifact count. It makes so we can actually play some spells later, hopefully. So, Sig out. We've got Ephemerate for days on Skyclave, which is pretty good. Still no blue. I mean, that's not really been a problem yet with this deck as far as drawing blue. Stoneforge Mystic's pretty good. I think Nicole left her computer volume up too high. Caldera Complete's pretty good also. All right, in for 2, sure. So now we need to hit the Stoneforge Mystic with a with something. Sun Titan. Okay. Rebuke is obviously possible here. That would be somewhat not cool. Not being able to draw blue here has been a real pain in the ass, I'm not gonna lie. If I Ephemerate and then pay the taxes and they have a Rebuke, it's pretty gross. Our other hand is Caldera. Card. We want to kill this before they can put in the Caldera. We can't Skyclave a token. We can Ending the token. Wall of Omens Ending. I could always Prismatic Ending Sentinel and let them draw 2 and see if it dies. Once it dies, and then we're free to play. I guess they have that other card too. They have that blue card. I can also go Ephemerate and Wall this turn. Just drawing cards is pretty important too. I think I like that. I think we're gonna go. Let's just start here. I'm gonna let them draw. I don't really love, but I guess I could also just pay it, right? I could pay both taxes. Once this dies, they can't Rebuke anymore, and then I can kill this. And just not play Wall of Omens. I should like that better. Let's do that. So ending here. If they have the, actually, they wouldn't even have an untapped artifact for the blue card. So new card, blue tap artifact counter spell. Pay the 1. Yes. Pay the 1. Yes. So hit this. Sweet. And yeah, we'll just do it. All right, can't Rebuke, can't play the other one. So yep, all right, cool. And this doesn't really matter. Eat this. They get back their 1/1. We eat their Stoneforge. Now they're stranded with a Caldera in their hand. They obviously have a counterspell in their hand too, based on how they played that turn. So obviously no blue, but this game's going fine for us so far. We have Wall next turn. They have a 5th land, which is good. So they are flooding a bit. All right. Rebound. We're going to go for the Wall, I think. I could kill the Sentinel, but we should draw lands and blue cards. I'm going to target the Wall. Pay the 1. Draw. Maybe. Yes. No. Maybe. Yes. Draw. Land. Plains. Draw. Flooded Strand. We did it. All right. So the problem is we have Spreading Season. And nothing to do with them right now, but it's fine, I guess. Let's start with Wall of Omens. No Skyclave. Okay. Just gonna attack. Again, they obviously have the counterspell in their hand, so they're also just like gonna cast the freaking Kaldara next turn, I guess, which is kind of gross. Can't really do much about it either. That's kind of icky, honestly. We start chucking Wall of Omens in front of it, but maybe we just cast Spreading Seas, just to get out of our hand and just try and draw more cards. Maybe it makes the Yorion better too. Comes down to that. So let's get a Prairie Stream. Just cast Spreading Seas, draw a card. Draw an Inspector. All right. So if they have a land, they tap out for Kaldara. Then we tap out for Sun Titan. And we can return Wall of Omens. Nope, they have Aether Spellbomb. So they're valuing playing Spellbomb instead of casting Kaldara. That's interesting. Could have just, hard cast this bad boy. Attack for 2. So they're valuing leaving the counterspell up, which is fine. We're going to draw off Spellbomb. And I'm sorry, they bounced their. I'm like, where'd the Thought Monitor go? Right, sorry. Let's bounce Thought Monitor, cast it, tapping out. Now I can resolve Sun Titan. Spreading Seas, sure. Yeah, this is good. I mean, honestly, resolving Sun Titan is pretty great here. We should get to get a land back. Play Inspector, jump block Kaldara. And now Sun Titan's in play and hard to remove, so. Maybe I should have attacked first, actually. Bring this back. Have the Grange, too. That's fine. Get Plains. Play Inspector. Say go. We're also 1 mana off from, yeah, I should have attacked before. I'm going to attack now. I should have attacked before I played Sun Titan. Not going to block now, and they might have blocked. But now I can attack with Sun Titan, get a land, and Yorion next turn. And Yorion flickers, Skyclave, Wall, Sun Titan, Inspector, Spreading Seas. Again, pretty sure they have Counterspell in their hand, though, so I guess we need to be aware of that. But we can, pre-combat Skyclave and see if they counter it, and then Sun Titan back. We can do a lot of stuff. Play a Drum. It's also the question if they want to hard cast this Kaldara or not. Looks like they do. This is going to allow for a sick Yorion turn. This leaves one. Oh, I guess this does leave up Rebuke, though. So now they can Rebuke because they have 2 untapped artifacts. Oh, never mind. All right, let's soak the damage up. Soak this up. 1 blue left over. We're 10. All right, so untap. Draw Giant Killer. I cannot kill this. Indestructible. We actually, don't have a lot of ways to kill this. Okay, sure. We can, blink. I'm sorry, I'm lying. We can blink it with a million things. All right, cool. We won. That was sick. That was a cool game. 2-1. All right, round number 4. On the play. Yorion, I choose you. Man, maybe we need some more blue sources. It wasn't a problem the first time around, but I feel like I might need some more blue sources in this deck. It would be hard to play more, obviously, and play a few more fetch lands or whatever. So we'll have to keep an eye on that for future. We're gonna keep this. Double Ending's pretty good. It's Teferi also, but we need to rerun the numbers a little bit here on the number of blue sources in this deck. Still a work in progress. All right. Plains go. The most powerful opening in all of Magic the Gathering. It's more powerful than nothing go, that's for sure. Scalding Tarn, crack. What do we got here? We Merkin again. Another Murktide deck. Blood Crypt. Shock. Alright. Red is good for us. We have answers to red. If it was black for Thoughtseize, I guess it wouldn't be the end of the world, I guess, but... Alright, so there's your Raggy. And untap and draw fetch land. Untap and draw fetch land. Fetch land. Fetch land. Nope, just a blue card. Just a blue card. Alright. Yeah, sure. Sure. For the moment, okay, I suppose. Like a Yorion turn Solitude. It's like a 3-mana Sword Splashers. Alright, we got a Shadow deck here. I imagine it should be a pretty good matchup for us. All of our fair cards line up pretty well into theirs, but obviously we can't cast our spells. We're not going to win, but we'll see. We'll see. Solitude is obviously also pretty good against Death Shadow. One black Thoughtseize. Never mind. Yorion. Take the Solitude. Makes sense. So I'll have one kill spell left. And Teferi's pretty good here too. You know, bouncing a shadow and drawing a card is totally fine. Blue source, please. Also, Seize is really good here too. Spreading Seize on Blood Crypt is almost Cantrip Stone Rain. So, blue source. All right, it wasn't a blue source. It was still good though. Skyclave's also really good here as well. We'll take that. We'll take that. As far as attacking goes, we'll figure out what we want to do with it, but 5 cards in it. Yeah, Spreading Seas on Blood Crypt is pretty good. Iteration, sure. So we've got 8 fetches, 12. So I'm only like 15 sources of blue, which probably isn't enough, honestly. We've had the Field of Ruin thing come a few times. Playing the island is so tough, though. You really want every single land to be a plains. Otherwise, you need to have 9 lands in play to turn on Emeria, which is so expensive. Okay, so they just iterated and missed. They missed their land out. They have 5 spells in their hand. And the question is, how deep do we want to go? I think we can afford to attack here. Normally, you need to be careful with attacking your shadow opponents because you don't want to help them get into like the 5 range and have a bigger shadow. But because you have ways to actually kill a shadow, I think we're all right with that here. I'm just going to fire up the Grange, get him for 3, put him to 7, and we'll go from here. We'll see things go. Blue source would be super ideal. Any land isn't bad, honestly, with Yorion. Yorion's also pretty hard for them to kill, honestly. They can't really Drama Lock it. They can't Fatal Push it. Can always Unholy Heat it, I suppose, but... Darcy. Fetch. Still have 4 cards in hand. Blood Crypt. Shock. Down to 4. Down to 4. Inquisition. All right. Take the ending. They have a shadow also. They've been to Croxa too. That's lucky. That's pretty lucky. All right, sure. Hitting Croxa off Channeler is a very, very fortunate circumstance. And they're going to heat my Skyclave. All right, so we're like probably just screwed. So we have no blue mana. We'll see. They're 4. Draw. I guess land here isn't the worst, right? An ending. All right. I'm a little tempted to just want to save this ending for the Croxa next turn. But then I don't have a land yet. And Teferi can bounce Croxa. That's not even that good anyway, but I'm just going to ending this. This also fixes all our draws, fills the graveyard and stuff too, so... They draw a land here. We can discard the Spreading Seas. Hopefully draw a blue source. That'd be real nice. They have 3 cards left. There's a Bobble. Bobble's not bad, because it is not an immediate thing. A Bobble. Look at our top card. We draw... A blue source also, god damn it. Spreading Seas will turn off Kroxa mostly, hitting one of these blood crypts. So, fortunately though, it comes in tapped. So, good news, bad news sort of scenario. We found the blue source. We did find the blue source. Now if I tap out for Kroxa, we can at least Teferi it back to their hand. And then maybe draw a blue land and then play Spreading Seas also, but... Shadow. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. They almost certainly have Drown the Lock here also. Bobble again. It's a real big shadow. We are at 19. We can afford to take a hit on a chin here. It's kind of funny how good Spreading Seas is here. All right, yeah, Bobble, we get it. All right, and we draw. Plains. All right. If they have Drown, I would like to play 2 good spells next turn. I think I'm gonna start by casting Spreading Seas. It's actually like really good right now. They might even counter it, honestly, because it just like nullifies Kroxa for the rest of the game. Basically, they need 2 lands to cast Kroxa, and it draws a card too. Is obviously most of our deck is white cards, so yeah, they're gonna drown this. All right, so they're gonna drown this. We are gonna hold the land 5-2, because in theory they're playing land Kroxa next turn. We need to Teferi bounce the Kroxa and then also draw an answer to this too. And actually, I'm just gonna play the land. We'll discard Yorion into the Kroxa, if that's the case, and we'll just try and draw a way to kill a shadow off of our Teferi bounce, which we have a lot of, honestly. You know, we're drawing to Ending, Skyclave, a blocker, you know, a lot of stuff. So they're at 4. Think they're deciding if they want to go to 1 here or not, or they want to go to 3. Obviously, Spreading Seas to Teferi a little earlier this game probably seals the deal for us, but wasn't to be. Wasn't to be. Perhaps a deck builder error here. Attack for 10. Could also have another Drown in their hand, because obviously had all spells for a long time. 2 cards in hand. Another Shadow. All right. Unsap and draw. It's got to be real good. Prairie Stream. All right. Attempt to Teferi. It's probably not going to resolve. Found our blue sources, though. All right. So, pretty tough game 1 there. Just couldn't actually cast our spells, which is fine. We'll work our way through it. So bring in a bunch of good pro black and red creatures. Bring in Supreme Verdict, and we're gonna cut what? We're gonna cut. Spreading Seas is actually good against them, honestly. Martyr of Sands. All of our removal's pretty good. Teferi's good. Spreading Seas is good. I guess Charming Prince is kind of crappy. We're also like not guaranteed to have a creature in play either. Basically, against a deck like this, you just want to really remove a lot of the cutesy stuff. I'm gonna shit Fiddler also. The things, you know, they have like I want to cut lanes. I want to cut a land. I think. I think 31's fine. Things that require other cards to be good. So Prince is mostly only good when you're blinking stuff. That's gonna be really hard to do. So I think that Flickerwisp is also going to come out. Just don't want the cards that require other things, because they're going to be doing a good job of putting me on a low resource game. And at a low resource game, it's hard to get your synergy pieces together. So just want to tap in for raw power here. Soul Guide Lantern is also interesting. I don't love it, honestly. I don't love it. I can see taking out the Flickerwisp, though, because Flickerwisp has no real utility against them at all. except for blinking our stuff, and it might not even come to that. Let me get rid of these and bring the Soul God Lanterns too. So be a little more just like a fair deck against them. The Sanctifiers and Champion should buy a lot of time. And then we probably good in the late game regardless. So, all right. While it is awkward to have 2 Sun Titans in our hand, this is a good hand. Double Sentinel on the play, and Giant Killer is not bad either. Sentinel on the play is just so good. They keep 7. We also have a blue source, which, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Freaking Giant Killer. What size advantage? They'll never even see me coming. Fun card. Fun card. It's funny here. They play Ragged Van. I'll probably just cast Giant Killer as a blocker. It's obviously good later in the game to kill bigger things, but like it's gonna be hard to even get to that point. So, ooh, Emeria. I'm still doing this. Yeah, I'm gonna play as a blocker. I just want to get 2 Sentinels in play and make it so Ragged Van can't hit me without losing a Sentinel if possible. So this is 2 Sentinels in play on the play with having 1 mana in play. We're gonna draw some cards here. And I most certainly do not want to trade Sentinel for Ragged Van, so Giant Killer is gonna step in here and just get the job done. We got Emeria to build towards. We have Sun Titans to build towards. You know, we're a little top end heavy here, but Sentinel should hopefully bridge the gap and draw some cards. All right, what we got? Here comes Ragged Van. Easiest block of my entire life. Play some spells, please. I want you to do it. And of course, Sentinel does a good job of buying time. So if they don't play spells, we have time to do our stuff. If they do play spells, we draw cards. It's great. There's a Heat. I'll pay for 1, I would assume. So we draw 1. Still a great exchange. I paid 1 mana to eat a Heat and draw a card. And then we still have a Sentinel in play, which is great. So draw a card. Another Emeria. Second Emeria, not nearly as good as the first, but a land's a land, I suppose. We draw. That was a good draw. That was a pretty good draw. Auriok Champion holds the fort pretty darn well. Obviously a little weak to the card Dress Down, but otherwise great against everything else. Requires them to have it, buy some time, and again, time's what we're looking for. These cards are really good, honestly. These cards are really, really good. I can almost see a Raw Wage main deck this card. It's like good against a lot of stuff anyway. And like, it doesn't really work the blink aspect of the deck, but it does work the buying time to stay alive. Obviously, you gain a few extra life on blinks too, but iteration with a land already in play, they're gonna pay. So they're gonna throw away their one of their iteration cards here and not deny us a card. So our Sentinel just turned their iteration into a 3 mana impulse, which is, or not even impulse, anticipate, which is great. Wow, that's great. And we're also already at 8. So we're just keep chipping away here. Emeria is a cool card. Emeria is a really cool card. Mishra's Bauble. That Bauble is off of the iteration. So lucky. So lucky. What a good hit. What a good hit. All right, so we draw something playable, perhaps. We draw Heath. Sure. We only have 2 planes, so we can't use the that sucks. I'd love to use the Grange here, obviously. We're just gonna put this in our hand. We're gonna play Emeria. And then the question is, do I want to leave back the champion for a dashed Ragged Van, or do I want to just get him for 2? That's fine. I'm just gonna get in. I don't think Dash Ragged Van's that bad for us. Like, they use 2 mana on it. They're still being taxed this way. Unlikely they can cash what they hit. Still under the Sentinel. I just can play this. I can leave it on tap next turn if I have to. Like, I don't think it's the end of the world. And then with them being at 6, it just doubles the clock to attack with the champion also. So basic white bordered swamp. It's classy. What is this? What's this? Kolaghan's Command, maybe? Auriok. I discard 2 cards at random. Okay. Sun Titan Yorion, please. Nope, that's the land. All right. That is a protection from a white creature. That is pretty good. That is pretty good. Hit the land, too. That's kind of gross. It's kind of gross. You don't really have a an answer to that one. I think we're just casting Yorion. We're going to attack, so we can't block. And again, Yorion is actually kind of hard for them to kill. They can obviously heat it, but it's still pretty big. And obviously, any land after that is Sun Titan. So them being at 4, the Yorion in play is not too bad for us. Auriok's a card, though. It's a card to worry about. That's a card to worry about for sure. Blink. And bring him back. Gain some more life. $21-4. Lethal on the battlefield. Sun Titan in hand. Any land or spell is good except for a tap land. Note that I was very careful about my my choice of words there. Six cards in there for them. Death Shadow is a 9/9 creature. Unfortunately, when you blink a creature, it resets the always yes function, unfortunately. So it is a new game object. Iteration. Let me draw a card. You shouldn't have, opponent. You shouldn't have. So they're like heat or bust here. They don't, yep, okay, they're busted. All right, game 3. Game 3. Let's go. Yeah, this is great. I'm down. I'm down. Got a lot of good cards here. Got a lot of good cards here. All right, let's go. Game 3 on the draw. Double ending, double solitude, Skyclave. This hand has a problem being really good against our creatures, but only has 2 lands. It doesn't necessarily draw super well or engine wise. I think it's still fine though. I think it's still fine. This hand is explicitly bad against expressive iteration, but I think we can't really mulligan this hand, so. All right, turn. No Ragavan, no discard spell. Interesting. Very interesting. Land? Ranger-Captain. Okay. We do have blue mana, which is sweet. No fetch for them. Off to a somewhat slow start here. Blood Crypt. Nothing. Strange. Triome. Untap. Okay. If we play Sentinel here, it 100% dies. But I can't really see a better time to play it. So we're just going to cast it. We draw a land. I'm going to play a 3-drop. It gets worse as the game goes on anyway. So we're just going to play 1 mana to rest them for an Unholy Heat here, which is what it is. Definitely want to draw a land next turn. Real bad. Real bad. Yeah, so they're going to heat this. And they're almost certainly going to play Iteration on their next turn because I can't imagine why they would have kept this hand with no 1-drops or discard spells. Unless they had a good Iteration hand that's interactive. So this is about the worst case scenario for our hand, given how our hand is lined up. No, they dash Ragavan. Okay. And now there's a question of, do I want to get frisky with a Solitude? If we don't draw a land, I'm going to be really sad. I think I do. I think I do. And the question is, what am I pitching? I think we do. I think it's Skyclave. We really want to draw land next turn, but if they're trying to play around my sorcery speed removal spells by playing like this, we got to keep a Solitude. So I'm going to do this. Doesn't feel great, but giving them extra mana and cards is not good. So ship this. They have 5 cards. We have 4 cards. We're about to draw to 5. So we're even on cards right now. But we'll both have 2 lands, 5 cards. And we have Yorion hanging out too. All right. Like a draw land here. Like a draw land here comes in untapped if possible. Suspense. All right, we drew a land. That's tight. Now, what are we going to get? Is it Inspector? Is it Giant Killer? Is it Sentinel? I think we're past the point of Sentinel being super useful, and I kind of just want cards. So I'm going to get the Inspector. They're also very far from casting Jet Shadow, so get Inspector and just say go. If this ends up being a pitch to Solitude, sure. If we end up playing it and draw a card, also sure. It's also interesting that we're in a spot now where I don't think I want to attack them anymore. They're at 15. I don't want to enable a Shadow. Oh, no. Not Torok again. Oh, God. All right, we're in trouble. We need to plan for Torok because this card is, I guess we have like Supreme Verdicts, but like this card is like just unreal against us. I don't know what that plan would be, but it is a disgustingly good card against us. All right, Field of Ruin. Is it possible that they've used their only basic? I think it might be. I think they only play a swamp. They might have a mountain also. No way they have an island. I'm going to field them, honestly. Just like field and play Inspector. I can't draw, but there's no way that would take off double red. If mountain, it wouldn't. Black anyway. Take off double blue. They don't really need double blue. Yeah. Let's see what they got. Let's see what they got. I think Shadow Deck's only playing one basic, but I could definitely be wrong. It might be 2. No, it's more than 2, obviously. All right, they don't have basic. Sweet. So get a free little Stone Rain there, which is nice. I do love a good Stone Rain. And now we say go. This Torok is a little hard to interact with. No lie. Thankfully, we can afford to take a number of hits off of it before it gets too dirty. Pro white. Protection's so unfair, right? Just so unfair. I say as I had an Auriok Champion in play last game. Blood Crypt Shock. All right. Death's Shadow. Have to imagine they have a answer for this prismatic ending of some kind. Be it Drama Lock or just something else. Which probably isn't great. We could like sacrifice the Ranger if we're like desperate to kill the Shadow, but I don't think we're that desperate. Let's see what we draw. Untap and draw. Ephemerate, which is honestly not that bad. Flickering Ranger Captain or Inspector is pretty good. We're gonna start by, we also have Flicker the Captain and go get a Giant Killer, which is kind of sweet. So let's start by casting Ending and see if they have the Drown the Lock we're thinking they might have. Looks like it. Okay. And then we're going to Ephemerate the Ranger-Captain of Eos. Get Giant Killer. And probably crack the Clue also. They need to have basically Dismember here to kill this in response, because obviously push can't do it. Go search. Ooh, I almost said no. Almost best click no there. And we'll get Giant Killer. And then the one card, man, I sort of hold this Clue. I wouldn't play. Would I play a line if I drew it? I think I would actually. Worst, they have one card in hand. Worst case is Croxa, but I guess the Torok would be bad too. I'm just gonna give those. Incorrect. No. Should Croxa first probably, but play Field of Ruin. Yeah, I'm gonna play this. Am I? So playing it is good against second Torok, good for making land drops, bad against like Kolaghan's Command or Croxa. Yeah, I'm gonna hold it. Actually, I'm just gonna hold it. All right, say go. War 15. I don't want to chump block. If I don't chump block, though, I die to a dress down. Which kind of sucks, but I guess they're probably chump blocking. Dress down would, of course, make this a 13-13. That would be 17 points of damage. And I think we're in a decent spot here. I don't want to get cheesed out. We have Ephemerate looming as well, so you can take another shot on Ranger-Captain. All right, yeah, I'm going to block. Go to 11. We also need to keep our life a little high because we can't block this. So right now we're on a 3-turn clock, but Watery Grave. One card left. Shock it in, say go. So we're going to untap. We're going to rebound. Dennis Rodman, pad our stats. Target Ranger-Captain and see what happens. Resolves. Go get a Sentinel, probably. That's all that's left, right? Yep, get a Sentinel. Draw for turn. That's not bad. All right. We're going to play Field of Ruin. Guess we just can't play Sentinel. Because we want to play. I guess we could like try Giant Killer, see what happens if it resolves. Play Sentinel. Oops. Let's attack. I fucked up. I went to attack and then it didn't. I obviously can't attack because I forgot about the Ephemerate, so I didn't main phase stuff. But it's okay. I think we're all right. That's my bad though. So we're on a 3-turn clock. May get punished for not casting the Sentinel or a Giant Killer. Also let them draw a card too. That sucks. Yeah, I just like I wanted to click it, nothing happened. It's like, oh wait, I hit the button more times. That was obviously I just forgot I was summoning sick. So let's chop down, see what happens. We have March also if they have a all right, cool. So now we have March to hit their next thing. So they only have 2 cards. So we are currently, I guess, in theory, winning the race. Black. Oh, no. Don't do it again. Not on the Torok. They had a Torok, they should have pre-combated it, though, because they discarded cards. They just screwed up really bad. All right, well, unfortunately, we're dead anyway. Because they could have dealt 2 more damage, because this thing triggers every discarded card. We could have been at 1. But all right, so we can't beat Torok. We found a glaring hole in our deck, is that the card Torok is almost unbeatable. We have Supreme Verdict in our deck, I suppose. That is a card that we do have, but exile target creature X or less. Can I target this? I think it has to have a target, so I want to get that out of my hands, then I'll discard more cards. Oh, it's a legend. Yeah, they could have just legended up. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm yeah. Can I cast this for 0? I want to target this. X can't be less than 3. Okay, yeah, I can't cast that. Okay, so yeah, so they get my hand. They have a blocker. And they'd have a 4-3. They should have played this pre-combat, kept the original version on the legend rule. They would have had a 6-5. And I guess like, and I'd have been at 5, dead in 2 turns. Yeah. So not playing Sentinel did end up hurting us, unfortunately. And I can't attack this turn either, but see what we draw. See what we draw. We have 2 verdicts. Some chaining draws, maybe that do some stuff. Flooded Strand's not it. All right, so no attacks. We play Giant Killer. I don't think there's much difference between 6 and... Yeah, I think we're just dead. I just think we can't kill them in 2 turns. I just don't know what card we can do the extra damage. So it's just like field Yorion. And I guess I'll put the counter on the Ranger, but I don't think we can actually kill them before they kill. We're just drawing to verdict, basically, I think. It's our only out. Take a look at our deck. Take a look at our deck here. They're going to heat my Giant Killer. Sure. And yeah, we're drawing to verdict. And that's it. Just verdict. All right, so we're going to get the Grange here. Pump this thing up. Field of Ruin, put Yorion in hand, and say a prayer. Honestly, that's all you can do. This is Stone Rain, which is cool, but realistically, the fact that they were able to, I guess the fact that they were able to block this turn was good, but they would have killed me in 2 turns anyway. I think the other play is still better, but I just don't know if we can overcome this one. We draw an Auriok Champion, I don't know if we can't get enough life. Yeah, I think we're just dead. Double Torok. Just one Torok we could have beaten, I think. We could have erased it, but second Torok was just too much. It's just too much. So pro white put us to 2. Not sure what the answer to this would even be, honestly. Oh, come on. Not playing Lightning Bolt, are you? No? All right. Darcy. No Delirium. Wow. Verdict. Sun Titan. Ah, Sun Titan's so good too. Sentinel, Solitude. Oh, man. All right, they got us. Yeah, so nothing we can bring back here that actually saves us. That sucks. That sucks. Close. Second Torok got us. And we're 2-2. We're 2-2. All right. We got our rubber match here in match number 5 for a winning record in the league. And honestly, both of our losses, felt sort of like, all right, we fell a little short. We didn't find a color. We mulliganed 5. They had 2 Toroks. Not saying we're complaining about those things. Sort of saying like the reasons we lost seemed reasonable. It wasn't like we our deck just didn't function or whatever. So all in all, impressed with the deck's performance so far, even in both losses. So another no island land here. We have Wall of Omens though. Draw some cards. Get the ball rolling. Put them all against a 6. And again, we're on the play, which is nice. All right. Basic planes go. Powerful opening. Misty Rainforest. Steam Vents. Serum Visions. All right. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. They go top. Some sort of combo deck, perhaps. We draw Heath. I'm not going to fetch just yet. We're going to play Wall of Omens. Draw a card, see what's up. Ranger-Captain? Okay. So, Ranger-Captain's kind of cool against combo decks. You can just, like, sack it in the middle of their combo turn and make this they can't combo anymore. Snow-Covered Island. Oh, no. Channeler. All right, so it's just a weird-looking Murktide deck, I guess. All right, well, let's get our party started here. We're going to get a Hallowed Fountain. We're going to cast our Skyclave and get while the getting's good. Try and keep them off their graveyard for the moment. Channeler offers them too many opportunities to get things going graveyard-wise. And say go. They play Consider. That's going to put them mostly at Delirium. They keep the card on top. All right. And keep the Consider, obviously, on top too. So, all right. Kind of need lands. We can Flickerwisp our own Wall of Omens to draw a card. Drawing a land for Ranger-Captain plus spell would be great too. It's funny. I actually added 3 lands to the original list. And I still feel like you might want more lands. It's hard though because one of the ways you could add more lands but like mitigate the possibility of flooding is to be play like cards like the castle or our double face cards. The problem is I don't think you can afford to play lands that aren't plains. It's just too much of a cost. So it's iteration. That was the exile card Bobble. And so no land but Bobble. So sure. So they're missing a land drop. And we are not missing a land drop, which is nice. So now it's Ranger-Captain for Esper Sentinel time because they are stuck on lands. Captain's great here. And this Esper Sentinel is going to put the squeeze on him. If we hadn't drawn a land, we were probably going to Flickerwisp the Wall of Omens. So play that. Play Sentinel. Get it for 2. It's a good white card train. Crack Bobble end step. So they've missed land number 3. If they don't find land number 3 this turn, honestly the game is over, but now you have Power in play, Sentinel in play. Mana base is developing. We can Ranger again for another Sentinel next turn, which is pretty good. We can Flickerwisp the Wall of Omens. We can Flicker the Captain. Many options here, many options. Okay. Fetch Shock Heat, targeting Sentinel. Gonna pay. I'm gonna say go with a mana up that they wanted to shock into play. Sure. All right, well, we're just gonna Captain Sentinel again, so. Possibly another Heat here? Sure. Or Bolt. Sure, whatever. So they bolt this. We do it again. And just Ranger-Captain. Go get Sentinel number 2. Play Sentinel number 2. Power on the board, answers in hand. Ragavan. Old Ragavan does not look too good into this board. Teferi Time Raveler. So we're going to Teferi. They're going to counter it. I don't think I bother doing that. They're just going to counter it. It's like, just like, don't give them a good card to counter right now. Just going to ending the Ragavan and get in and play Flickerwisp post-combat. And so we can just act with our Sentinel and our Skyclave. So get in. Suppose if they have a way to kill my Skyclave here, they can block the Sentinel, but whatever, you know, it's fine. I think this is honestly not that bad. So you block there, and now you can resolve Teferi. Or we can resolve a Flickerwisp Bouncing Wall. I think that's actually just better. Just put the pressure on. Also, I'll say Teferi to bounce a Murktide. So if I play it now, they can kill it before Murktiding, which is not good for us. So we're gonna just draw a card. I'll try to draw lands, I think. So I don't need another Sentinel at this point. Could have flickered maybe and gotten a giant killer, but we already have an answer. We have 2 answers to Murktide anyway, so I think absent an answer to Murktide, we're Flickerwisping the Ranger-Captain. Crack the fetch down to 6. This is probably a Murktide counterspell turn. We have Solitude and Teferi, so I think we're good to go here. They're at 6. We got 6 power in play. A lot of Murktide decks in this league. A lot of Murktide decks. Murktide, 2 mana up for counterspell. It's a 4/4. They have double Murktide here? Wow, that's cute. Unfortunately for them, I have double answers, so they're dead. It's a 9/9 and an 8/8. You got it. Unsap. And, Teferi Time Raveler. Teferi's very good in this deck. I think if this deck was mono white, it wouldn't function. I think the blue cards do really make this deck, even though there's only a few of them. Teferi being perhaps the best, because it's good against decks. It's good against things that are good against this deck. It buys time, it draws cards, it's good against counter spells. Just obviously a really good card. And Spring Season is pretty good. I know we haven't really cast that much, but it's still a very good card. So we're gonna bring in our blue mono red creatures, or I mean our pro red creatures, our verdicts. Soul Guide Lantern is like, I don't think we want it. We're gonna cut the Spreading Seas, they're pretty bad here. Charming Prince is also just like not very good. Just like not a very good card. Ending March, Skyclave. Martyr's fine, Inspector's fine. Might just be some number of princes. Wisp is actually fine because it can block, can hit Murktide and then block the Darcy's. Skyclave, Teferi, March, Ending, Sun Titan's good, Solitude's good. Wall's okay. Just cut some princes. The question is, do I want Soul Guide Lantern or not? That's like the big question. I don't think I do. We could have a Sun Titan too, actually. Like, it's just a 6-drop against the counterspell deck. Lantern's like so hard to use. I just don't want to draw. I'm just gonna keep the lanterns out. It's just too hard to use and like actively turn off a Murktide or whatever, and like just the cost is too high because you can't draw a card off of it. So I think it's just fine. I think I like this. All right, Yorion. Let's finish strong here, my friend. Pretty good hand. Obviously, double Emeria is a little awkward, but opponent ball against a 6. No Ragavan. Lucky us. Lucky us. Old Ragavan on the draw is really annoying. So we have Charming Prince next turn. Which again is not really very good. This card just probably shouldn't even be a deck. This card's just so bad. We're gonna play our Charming Prince and scry 2. Wall of Omens, Ranger-Captain. I would say we don't really need the Wall of Omens, but I would say we are pretty interested in Ranger-Captain. And pass the turn here. Captain finding the Murktide killer is pretty good. Just card advantage as well. There's your iteration. Land in the bin. Could have kept that land for iteration and just cracked the fetch. So probably have more lands in hand. Exile Bobble off of the iteration. Steam Vents, Bobble, etc. No, second Channeler, Bobble. All right, pretty good hand. Pretty good hand. We can resolve the Teferi here, but it would die to the other Dragon Rage Channeler almost assuredly. So I don't necessarily want to do that. Although they have 2 3/3 flying creatures coming in, which is kind of problematic. That'll be next turn. Question is, am I willing to cash into Teferi right now or not? That's the big question. Or just cast Ranger-Captain and kind of go from there. I think we're going to wait. So send in the Prince, because there's no way it's blocking next turn. Yeah, I don't like Teferi bounce here. Just gonna fetch. Just gonna get Plains. I don't need to get blue, right? I guess getting blue allows me to play Emeria tap. I almost like don't want to play Emeria tap though, honestly. Just gonna get a basic Plains. Play Ranger-Captain. Gonna go get a. Do I want to get a preemptive Giant Killer? Do I want to get a Inspector? Do I want to get Martyr? Just gains like 6 life. It's not very good. Maybe 9. That's not really super great. Sentinel's obviously fine, but not nearly as good at this point in the game. It's still fine though. Inspector plays as far as drawing cards. Might just get the Giant Killer now. Just like preemptively get it. We have Teferi. I'm gonna get Sentinel. I feel like just like mana is gonna be the biggest bottleneck this game. So just get the card that like does the most with the least amount of mana, and then force them attacks. I mean, they drew another land. Wow, okay. So they're playing Jace the Mind Sculptor. That was not entirely expected. Sure. Now they have Delirium. I mean, I suppose they could bounce my Ranger-Captain. That would be somewhat bold, I feel, but these got to attack, and they aren't playing other spells here. I guess they had to go to work or something like that. That was a pretty close game. I don't know what that was all about, but sure. I mean, both both Darcy's had to attack, but they could have like plussed Jace or bounced. I guess they were just like gonna lose Jace, so like they just like didn't. They just felt embarrassed that they like played a Jace. They were just gonna die immediately, but those Ragavans were getting. I mean, those Darcys were getting in. You know, it was 6 damage. You know, but I don't know. What are you gonna do? I think that was a shame scoop. They played Jace, thought they could protect it, but couldn't, and just like felt embarrassed and conceded. I would guess that would be my so we went 3-2. Even if we were losing that game, we're on the play for game 3. But this deck is sweet. This deck is super sweet. All these white cards are really good. I do want to cut some of the garbage. The original version of the list had more garbage. I cut some of that. I want to clean up some more of the garbage though. You know, the cards, the kind of cutesy cards, like I think Charming Prince is bad. Martyr of Sands is also pretty unexciting. I like the Giant Killer. I like the Inspector. I like the 6-pack of 1-drops. March probably isn't necessary. It's very redundant alongside the endings and the Skyclaves. So could like the Princes, the Marches. I honestly wouldn't hate playing Auriok Champion in the main. There are so many red decks in the format right now and black decks that it would always be reasonable. It gains some life. It's 2-drop. That's kind of plausible. Deck definitely needs more blue sources. Whether it's a basic island, I don't think it is, but just give me 4 more fetch lands, honestly, because there are good fetchable lands too. The Prairie Stream is great, Triome is great, Grange is great. So needs more of that. Love the Spreading Seas. Honestly, the 4th Ranger-Captain maybe. Flickerwisp could probably go down to 2 maybe. Again, it's kind of one of the more cutesy cards in the deck. But the deck's sweet. It's got a really good late game. It's got a lot of good white interaction. Teferi's really, really good. It's a good little splash. Deck's sweet. I like it a lot. So thanks for watching, folks. I'll work more on this deck and let me know your thoughts on what you think should be in this deck. And thanks for watching, folks. Appreciate it. Check out my article from last Friday about the new Pro Tour announcement, which is super awesome. And check out coolstuffink.com for all your sale needs. Promo code Jim5, 5% off your order. That's great. Free content every weekday. That's it. That's all I got this week. All right, folks. Have a good one. I'll see you next time.